Hello, today we are going to talk about KDE Craft, the framework that allows you to build KDE software. And it's usually used to build KDE software from source tarballs, so from release tarballs, not from Git master. Can be used on Windows, Mac OS, Linux, FreeBSD, Android. An open source meta build system and package manager. It manages dependencies and builds libraries and applications from source. Again, the difference, kdesrc-build usually used for building KDE software from Git master, whereas Craft usually used to build KDE software after a release was tagged, after we have source release tarballs. How do we set things up? Let's do this on my hardware machine, which is Linux, which is Ubuntu 22.10. My OS offers Python 3. I don't know, let's check. I don't have a Python. So it's Python 3.10, which is better than 3.6. I'm on Ubuntu. I need to install these things. Okay, let's do this. Let's become super user. So it says it's going to install Python 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things. Yes. So I don't have the executable Python. I have the executable Python 3 and the executable Python 2. Okay. And then I need to install Craft with this wget command. Copy, Control Shift. Oh, what does this thing do? It wants to install in tilde/craft root, so not here. I need to not be super user, so with my normal user account, Control Shift V. So it installs in my home directory, tilde/craft root. Select the compiler, GCC is default, enter. Do you want to enable support for color logs? Default, yes. What does it do? It bootstraps Craft. So it installs basic build tools, basic Python tools, it's going to use some things from the system, and some other things is going to actually download them and install them in tilde/craft root. Okay, says setup complete. Please run the following command to get started. Source. So craft tilde/craft root, yes, /craft/craftenv.sh. Okay, let's do that. It's the same thing. So this command line is the same thing as this command line. So let's do the one from the wiki page. Says Craft was installed in tilde/craft root. It's going to download in tilde/craft root/download. I'm using GCC. And craft colon is the command prompt. So I need to write craft kate to build kate. What other possibilities do we have? We have craft search. So let's see. Craft search kcalc. What does it say? It says available version 3.7 of what? Installed version none. Utils grep. Failed to find search. Craft was unable to find search. Yes, because it's minus minus search. So craft minus minus search, this thing, and then the name of the package. Okay. So it says package kcalc was found. The full path is kd/kdutil/kcalc. The repository name, the package name is named kcalc. And the latest available version is 22.03.08.3. This is the latest release tarball. And it's not mandatory that I install 22.08.3. I might also install 2, 1, 22.04.3 release/22.08 or even master. But I don't know how to build another different version of the package. So the way to build a version that's not whatever is default, which is 22.08.3, is to either say craft -- set version equals, for instance, master, and then kcalc, or craft -- set version equals master, and then in here you can put kd/kdutils. Replace some version with a branch name of the source git repository of the package like master, or version numbers. And there's also a file, a configuration file. Let's look in the at the configuration file first. So ~craft root etc blueprint settings ini. What's available in here? Category package name. Okay, I install from git master everything. All of the KDE Git repositories, but not the other dependencies such as NSS, GPGME, MySQL, Qt, etc. Can I set a property on just the category KDE, not KD/something? Settings are inherited, so you can set them for a whole sub-branch of a single blueprint. So it seems that yes, you can put, you can use a section that just contains KDE and put whatever option you want in there, and then you cascade and inherit it. The settings will be set correctly. Settings are inherited. So probably you can do such a crazy thing as this KDE and then version equals master. This thing. In this way, all of the KDE Git repositories are built from source git master, and all of the other dependencies like Qt, etc. are built in the correct way, which is don't build anything, download from the internet, from Craft, already built packages and just unzip them in here. So Craft does two things. It builds from source and it downloads pre-built tarballs and just installs them on your system. Okay, so let's see. Where are you? So I'm in the Craft command line. I can go start building something. So I go Craft. I searched for the package kcalc. I know it exists. I say build it or install it or do whatever you want to do with the KDE package kcalc. Okay, it says there's no sed and I need sed, so it downloads sed. Then it does open SSL, open FFI, libelzma, package config, libxml2. And this is the first time it builds something. All of the other dependencies were just downloaded, pre-built tarballs and installed on my system. Did not need to install to compile anything on my machine. It just downloaded existing tarballs which were pre-built on other machines than mine. When we see something like rel with debinfo, it's pre-built existing packages. files.k.org/craft/master 2207/linux/64/gcc rel with debinfo /something. I saw GCC, Qt, Qt-svg, Qt declarative. So it also ignores most of the packages from my Linux distribution. So it ignored GCC, it ignored Qt. I see the first KDE framework 5 libraries, Kcore add-ons. I see share MIME-info, Intel tool, Plasma Wayland protocols, KGUI add-on. Things happen too fast for me to read. This is because all of these packages that are dependencies of kcalc are just downloaded pre-built and installed on my machine. By skipping the local compilation, things move really fast. So right now I'm in kcalc. What did it do for kcalc? I see the CMake configure step for kcalc. I see Ninja, so it doesn't do GNU make, it uses Ninja. I see that the archive that was downloaded does not have rel with debinfo in name. It doesn't have x86 in name. It doesn't have GCC in name, the triplet. So By that, I guess that it's a source tarball, not a binary tarball. Okay, before installing kcalc, it does its dependencies. So some of the dependencies of kcalc are also dependencies of other KDE Git repositories, but MPFR and GMP are dependencies of kcalc. Maybe some other Git repositories depend on these two, GMP and MPFR, but these two are dependencies of kcalc directly. Okay, so GMP was downloaded as a build tarball, so as a binary tarball, because I see rel with dbinfo, I see GCC, I see Linux 64 for GMP. For MPFR, I see GCC, rel with dbinfo, Linux 64, so again it's a pre-built tarball, a tarball with build artifacts with .so files and .a files. So it contains binaries precompiled on other machines than mine. And then for kcalc, it didn't download the build, the binary archive, because it says could not find kcalc rel with dbinfo GCC Linux 64, which it says kcalc not found in cache. So cache being this website, https://files.kd.org/craft. So if it can't download the pre-built archive, it downloads a source code archive. An archive that contains CPP and H files, not SO files. And ELF files. Okay, so it says I can see that the archive is a source archive because it doesn't contain GCC, Linux 64, rel with dbinfo, etc. in the name. And it's a totally different website. So the one with binaries is called files.kd.org/craft, whereas the one with source is download.kd.org/stable/release service. Okay, it has a SHA-256 sum. I don't know why it uses such a command line. It should have used tar -xjvf instead of 7-zip-a and tar then. Okay, so after we have the source code of kcalc unpacked in the directory this, let's look at this directory. So craft root, build KDE. So there's etc with config files. There's a bin with binaries. A lib with .so files. And a build directory. Build KDE, KDE utils, kcalc, and then work. and then this is where it extracted the archives. Kcalc minus 22.08.3. So this is where it extracted the files from this kcalc 22.08.3 tar.xz file. And then inside and then it runs the cmake configure step, which what does it do? So cmake, then minus g ninja, and then the prefix is tilde slash craft root. So tilde slash craft root acts as tilde slash kd slash usr in kdesrc-build, or as slash usr slash local in if you build the source starboards yourself, or as slash usr if you install Debian packages or packages from your distribution. So this is a install prefix, tilde slash craft root. Therefore, the executables will go in tilde slash craft root slash bin, so files in tilde slash craft root slash lib, .h include files in tilde slash craft root slash include. Okay, take the include files from tilde slash craft root slash include. This is for clang-d. The build configuration that we have selected, which we didn't select anything, so it's by default rel with debinfo. Okay, and then minus s, which is the directory of the source, and the directory of the source is this one, where we unpacked the source code. But then probably before executing cmake, it changed directory to here. I don't see where it changed directory to work/build directory, but I guess it did. It's customary that you don't want to put inside the directory where you git clone, or the directory where you extracted the source code, a ton of build artifacts and intermediate files created by cmake. Those belong in other place, either in a subdirectory in here called build, or in the parent directory in a subdirectory build, or in a totally different directory, such as is with kdesrc-build. So source files in tilde slash kd slash src slash utilities slash kcalc, whereas the binaries are in the build directory. This directory. Okay, so configure was successful, and build files have been written to where I expected them to be, so in /work/build, which is this directory. And then it executes Ninja inside of this directory, which Ninja builds. We have build warnings, and then it finished in building. Here it goes clean image, and then it starts what is the equivalent of make install. So the install, Ninja install. It says Ninja install. It puts the files into Where are you? tilde/craft_root/lib. It strips the executable, which is kcalc, such that it does not contain debug symbols. Instead, it creates a file named kcalc.debug with the debug symbols, because the executable was built with rel with debinfo cmake build configuration. Post install qmerge, post merge, everything's successful. So now the executable should be, I guess, I don't know, in craft root build kcalc. This thing. And these are the debug symbols, kcalc.debug. It's a binary ELF file. Okay, let's read more about Craft. So we have the uninstalling a package, updating. We can go to the source code directory. Let's do that. cs kcalc pwd. So this is where we expected, this is where the source code was extracted. And there's a CB, right? CB kcalc pwd. So it's in the parent directory of this directory and then subdirectory build. This is the directory where cmake and ninja have run, and this is the clean directory where source code was extracted, and that's it. If we were on Windows, we could create executables. On macOS, we could create DMG bundles with craft ---- package and then kcalc. Okay. We might want to develop on one of the libraries, such as in kcore add-ons. So we go craft -i, which means install. No, means update. And then -no cache to not get the file from files.kd.org, the binary tarball. And then kcore add-ons. For the applications to run, which changes to the source of the package. So I understand if by default it doesn't do git, so there's no problem with you editing the local source code and then building. So you edit the source code of kcore add-ons, you build it, and that will be compiled with your changes, and then you go ninja install, make install, or craft -i will put the files in /craft root in the correct directories there, and then you can edit kcalc, the source code, and compile kcalc. It will use the new .h files from kcore add-ons from /craft root/include, the new .a files from /craft root/lib, etc. So we'll use the new version of kcore add-ons. Okay, let's see how we can do development on kcalc, but on the git master branch of kcalc. Let's see how that works. So this part with the version. I could go craft -- set version equals master for kcraft, but I don't want that because I don't want to have two kcrafts. I don't want to have the kcraft from the release tarball, and I don't want to have kcalc from two different sources, from git master and from the release 22.08.3. So let's, for instance, uninstall it. So craft -- unmerge kcalc. Craft unmerge succeeded. Let's check that the files have disappeared from bin. So ~/craft root bin, kcalc, nothing in here. And now we can edit the configuration file. Where are you? This thing. Copy. Okay. Where are my changes to this file? Okay, let's put my changes at the end of the file. So say local changes, start of local changes, end of local changes. Okay, I want the path, which is this thing. And I want the pair, which is version equals something. Version space equals space and then master. Control S. Okay. And now we can craft again. Craft kcalc. I saw the git clone. So it tries to get the master, the version master from the cache from files.kde.org. That fails, so it goes git clone the canonical git repo, and then ~/craft root /download /git /kd utils /kcalc. So in a totally different directory. But I have cs, the shortcut to go to the source code, and cb to go to the directory where cmake does its things. So cloning into remote enum, so it doesn't go git clone depth once or a shallow git clone, it does a full git clone. Check out master, already on master. Your branch is up to date. And then it starts cmake config, so cmake -g ninja. Successful. Then starts a Ninja, which is make build. Okay, until here. Then it goes Ninja install, the equivalent of make install, into the same directory, ~/craft root. It has built with the wrong build configuration. That's not okay. We can't really debug with such a thing. Where are our changes? It has deleted our comments and sorted things or something. No. Okay. Unfortunately, it doesn't like comments at the end of the file. Okay, so version master is not enough. We also want build configuration to be debugged. How do we do that? Listing. Build type equals debug. Okay, Control S. How do we do it now? We uninstall it again and we install it again. So it says CMake build type debug. So the build configuration for CMake is debug, which is what I want. Debug manifest.json. Okay. Could not find in the cache in files.kd.org anything with debug. So it was forced to git fetch, git checkout master, which is okay. So then it did CMake configure with the correct debug build configuration. Successful. And then it does build and install. Okay. How can we debug this thing? So first of all, let's see that kcalc runs correctly. Okay. And how do I run this thing with Qt Creator? I want to open the source directory, so cs enter pwd enter. cb. No, cs is the command line. So cs switch to the source directory of a package. I need to state the name, so kcalc. CS, change to the source directory of kcalc, and then pwd. Correct, this is it. File, open, file or project, Control V, and then cmake lists.txt, open. Okay, I need to clean up these things. Remove everything except desktop default. Apply OK. And then I need to change to the build directory of kcalc. This is the build directory, so I importing the cmake configuration from this directory. Import existing build. Control V as it is. Okay, it creates an extra build configuration which is called debug2, which has the correct build directory, the cmake directory, and the correct source code directory. And everything else is correct, so tilde/craft root/include, prefix tilde/craft root, tilde/craft root, ECM from tilde/craft root/share, message format, message merge from craft root bin, KDE framework version 5 from cmake files from tilde/craft root/lib/cmake, correct. Qmake, because it has downloaded another Qt, not a Qt from my Linux distribution, which is Ubuntu 22.10. So it takes Qmake from the correct directory, which is tilde/craft root/bin. Everything seems to be great. cmake configure was run inside of Qt Creator, it was successful. Now I can build. Compile output. Exited normally, so it was really fast because it didn't really do anything. Okay, what about the target to run? We have just two possible targets in the cmake files. We have kcalc or knumber_test. Let's run kcalc from the correct directory, so not from the make install directory, from which is tilde/craft root/bin, but from directory where cmake and Ninja has built them, not installed them, which is the build directory plus bin. Okay, let's look at the source code. Kcalc, this is the projects view, cmake projects view, and this is the file system view. Sometimes it's better to use the file system view, sometimes it's better to use the cmake projects view. So I'm going with cmake, the target is kcalc, the various files that Qt Creator has graphical designers for. So the main UI, a settings page, settings page, settings page, settings page, settings tabs. These four are settings tabs. These are for resources. And this is for kconfig. Okay, so source files, kcalc.cpp, this is the entry point of the executable. Let's go at the very end, scroll here, this is the main function, so the entry point of the executable. Let's put a breakpoint in here, in here, in here, and let's look at the configuration. So it says that the kit is not default desktop, which is correct, but it's the one that we have imported from the build directory. The project is called kcalc. It's going to use the CMake build configuration debug 2, which is correct. It's going to run kcalc not knumber test, correct. Everything's correct in here. So now we can press the button start debugging of startup project. Okay. Q application F11. So since Q application is part of Qt and Qt was downloaded from binary archives pre-built on another machine by KDE Craft, I don't have access to the CPP file where QAction is implemented, where the constructor is implemented. I have just access to public include files, so the headers from Qt and some private Qt headers, which exist in tilde/craft root/include directory. So I go F11 million of times. And since I don't have the source code for any of these, it doesn't really do anything. So I need to do F10 or Shift or F5 even. So the shortcuts are debug, start debugging, and then interrupt or go to the next F5, continue, go to the next breakpoint, step over F10, step into F11, step out, Shift F11. Okay, so that was cute. What about KDE Frameworks version 5 libraries? F11, the same thing. The KDE Frameworks libraries are not taken from Kubuntu 22.10, which is my operating system. They're taken from KDE Craft, but KDE Craft has downloaded this as binary compiled already on different machine tarball and just install them into tilde/craft/lib. So I only have access to .h files, .cmake files, .so files, .a files. I don't have access to CPP files. So stepping into is not that interesting. The most that you can step into is into .h files, into templates or constructors that are inline, are defined inside of the .h file instead of being defined inside of being implemented inside of CPP files. So I can't really step into. I can only step into the source code that's part of kcalc Git repository. So F5, what's part of kcalc? Let's find something. I can step into K internationalization, into K about data, into Q string literal. I can't step into any of these. I can step into K number. So let's put a breakpoint in here. F5, F something. I can't use F11 because it will go inside of qlocal group separator, which we don't want. And now we're trapped inside qlocal. So we need to do it like this. F5, put a breakpoint in here, so we can't really use F11 step into. We need to put breakpoints by navigating using the IDE. So we can go back, control click to go to the CPP file, which is from our kcalc Git repository, from the source code of this project that's loaded inside Qt Creator. So again, back and control click, alt left, back. Yeah, the same shortcut as in web browsers. And control click on this one, put a breakpoint here, alt backspace, qcalculator, control click on this one. This is the class. We want the constructor. Where is it? Right click, switch header source. Okay, so with 2 jumps, I made it to the constructor of kcalculator. So control click on the class name, then control click on the constructor. Put a breakpoint in the kcalc.cpp file, F10, F10, F10. So basically I can debug anything that's from the source code of this KDE Git repository, so inside of kcalc. I can't debug anything that's from KDE frameworks or from Qt. So hex mode, I have go to definition, it's part of an enum. I have hover, evaluator from the Qt Creator debugger. What's hex radio? Is the string hex radio, Q radio button. It's a Q radio button. Okay. What's base choose group? It's a Q button group from kcalc.h. So all of the debugger things I can do from Qt Creator, with this caveat, only for the source code that's part of my KDE Git repository from kcalc. What if I want to do this thing for the KDE frameworks? Let's see. So I want, for instance, all of the KDE frameworks or just the KDE framework which contains kabout data, which is what? Kcore add-ons. So let's do that for Kcore add-ons. Like this. It's tier 0 or tier 1. I don't know exactly which one. And now my settings have moved. Control V. So I want for KDE frameworks, tier whatever, and Kcore add-ons the same 2 settings: version master to get it from git master, and build type debug. Reload. Do you want to save your changes? Discard. Kcore add-ons. These 2. Control S. And let's build Kcore add-ons to see if it's enough what we did. So craft, Control Shift V. So it's indeed KDE/framework/tier 1/Kcore add-ons. And it did git clone from the correct URL, and then it goes cmake configure, and that fails because it says that it needs the latest ECM. So in fact I can go and compile from git master just this git repository. I need to build them all, which is a good thing. Let's try that. So all of the frameworks we build from git master using cmake build configuration debug. Let's see what happens. Cancel, reload, discard, Control S. Okay. Craft core add-ons should build ECM. Yeah, it did. It git cloned ECM, extra cmake modules. It make installed it, whatever, using Ninja. Then ECM, git clone, configure, make, install. Okay, what about if I go craft kcalc directly? Will it rebuild all of the other KDE frameworks? Should not. But it indeed does. It builds kconfig right now. It's okay. So we're getting to an alternative to kdesrc-build, which is install KDE Craft on a Linux machine, on a Linux distribution which is new enough such that it can compile all of the KDE repositories, and then edit the blueprint settings.ini file, which is the main configuration file of KDE Craft, to have something like this. For instance, you can have square brackets KDE, close the square bracket, and then version master debug type, build type debug. So actually delete this part and this part. And then you will have all of the KDE frameworks and all of the KDE applications, etc., all of the KDE Git repositories built from Git master. And then we can have better debugging in Qt Creator. We can debug all of the KDE source code. We have access to the CPP files of all of the KDE Git repositories, all of the KDE frameworks, applications, etc. So we can debug better. But we can also fix the issue in the correct place. So maybe you have an issue in kcalc, something does not work in kcalc, and then you go down the rabbit hole and find out the issue is in kabout data something, but that's not inside of the kcalc Git repository, it's inside of kcore add-ons Git repositories. So you need to edit that Git repository kcore add-ons, fix the issue there, test with kcalc, make sure the issue is fixed, and then do a merge request for the KDE Git repository kcore add-ons, not to kcalc. And maybe, who knows, maybe Linux KDE Craft is simpler or better behaved than kdesrc-build. Maybe you want to not use kdesrc-build, maybe you want to use Linux KDE Craft for your day-to-day programming for KDE. Okay, so now it's at key notifications. I'm not sure if it's going to build all of the KDE frameworks. 78 of those, or how many they are, or just the exact dependencies of kcalc. Which are going to be less, like kcalc depends on like 40 KDE frameworks, whereas there's almost 80 Git frameworks. KDE bus add-ons. KF5 service. kdesrc-build by default doesn't show full verbose build output and progress output. You need to pass it --debug to show what's shown in here. And I don't know if KDE Craft has management of log files similar to how kdesrc-build does it. Okay, what is this? KF5 XML GUI. Yes, we use KF5 XML GUI in kcalc. Okay, and where are we now? Says it's up to date, nothing to do. So what if it's up to date and nothing to do? Do it again. No, I need to uninstall it, right? How do I tell it to do it again? -I. I know what -I does, but it seems to have done it. Okay, it has installed it. What about Qt Creator? We go yes to all, but we still need to start from scratch. So close the debugger, close everything, Qt Creator. File, open file or project. So CS and pwd. Not CS kcalc. Okay. Copy file, open project, Ctrl V /cmake. Okay, projects, manage kits, remove this one, apply OK. Manage kits, remove these ones. Apply OK. Then cb space kcalc and then pwd to get the directory of cmake. Import existing build, Ctrl V, enter. Let's look at the kits. So manage kits, there should be only two. The default, which we never delete, desktop default, and then whatever we just imported. There should be a build configuration for what we imported, which is called debug2, correct? Then we should run cmake, which probably has run already. Okay, it's successful. Then we need to run build, this button with a hammer, build project kcalc Ctrl B. Look at compile output 100%. Then look at our breakpoints. kcalc, source, kcalc cpp. So we already have a breakpoint in the constructor. Scroll at the bottom. Okay, we have the needed breakpoints. We can start debugging, which is start debugging of startup project. Let's look at the configuration first. So it says kcalc not number test, kdebug 2. Okay, it looks correct. Start the debugging. So now we need to make sure we don't step into Qt, which is impossible. Okay, F11. So it goes into the CPP file from K internationalization, KI18N. Okay, so this is the KDE framework version 5, K internationalization. We now have access to its CPP files, so we can really see what's happening in there. Okay, the same for kcrash, F11. We're in the kcrash.cpp file, which is from the KDE framework named kcrash. We're inside the K about data. Let's go to the class. Let's go to the constructor. Which one? No, this one. Because it's not part of our so K about data is kcore add-ons, but it's not part of our project. It's not part of kcalc cmakelist.txt. It's a different project, so it can't navigate outside of the debugger to the correct place. And it also takes the file kaboutdata.h from ~craftlook/include, not from ~craftlook/tier1/kcore-addons/git/ where the file was git cloned, where the KDE git repository kcore-addons was git cloned. So we can't go switch header source. Okay, so I don't know how to get to the constructor of kaboutdata using the debugger without stepping accidentally inside of QString or inside of QString literal or inside of all of the other Qt symbols. I'm inside QString. This is implemented inside of a .h file, so I can see that source code. F11, F11, F11. I'm lost. I need to tell Qt Creator somehow to ignore all of the Qt symbols. And then the F11 step into debugger feature of Qt Creator will work perfectly. Yay. Finally, I'm in the constructor of kaboutdata. So kaboutdata.cpp file is inside tilde/craft/download/git/kd/framework/tier1/kcore-addon/src/lib/kaboutdata. Okay, so this is where the CPP file is, but also the H file is. So from this CPP file, I can navigate to the H file by going switch header source. But I can't from the about data.h that's inside of tilde/craft root/include. Okay. I don't know yet how to tell Qt Creator to ignore all of the symbols from Qt, but this is totally something that I need to research. This thing, how can I make it say don't step into QString? In Visual Studio Code, there's this possibility of not stepping into Microsoft first-party source code. So debug just my code. I reach some annoying QString.h code whenever I step into. So step into F11. So there's a method call. The guy wants to step into the body of the CPP file that contains the implementation of that method. That's just called. But instead, it steps into the evaluation of the parameters of the caller function, which almost certainly passes through QString. Wow, so I need to edit the source code each and every time I don't want to step into the source code of QString or QString list, Q Latin one string, etc. Then don't step into it. So people are not familiar with the Visual Studio debugger. But it seems it's not possible. It's possible probably, but nobody has ever thought about it on Stack Overflow. There should be some solution, or if not, should be implemented in Qt Creator. Do not step into Qt. How do I not step into Qt library source? Not a solution. Okay, the solution that I know of is that I build Qt 5 myself. In kdesrc-build, the first thing that I do when I install kdesrc-build from scratch, I delete everything from kdsrc, then I start the procedure of installing kdesrc-build. The first thing that I build is Qt 5. Because of Qt WebKit, it takes half a day or something. But after that is done, I will have Qt 5 built from source using kdsrc forever. I tell kdesrc-build to not build Qt 5 again, and then I tell it to keep using it. If I build it once, then I tell kdesrc-build stop building it again, but use it. Okay, so that was it. That was how you can install Linux KDE Craft on your machine, how to use it to download already built tarballs with the dependencies of any KDE Git repositories you want. In my example, it was KDE calculator. I then tell it, please build kcalculator from git master, which you do using these 3 lines in blueprint settings ini ~craft root /etc/ blueprint settings.ini. You add these 3 lines, and now each time a KDE Craft tries to build kcalc, it will download the latest source code from git master and build that. And then I told it, hey, since you can do this thing for kcalc, why don't you do it for all of the KDE frameworks version 5 libraries? So I say, kcraft, please build all of the KDE frameworks version 5 from git master and use the cmake build configuration debug. And then I can do in Qt Creator all of the things that I usually do in kdesrc-build, which means I edit source code, I run the debugger, I step into step over, I navigate the source code with control click, I switch header source, I inspect what's the value of an identifier in the debugger, because I almost always edit the source code while the debugger is running. So I program inside the debugger while the debugger is running. That's the way I do it. Okay, so that was it. Thank you.